Everyone sees the jewels, the royal gowns, and the glamorous smiles. But behind Princess Caroline's elegant image lies a life marked by heartbreaking loss, painful choices, and tragedies that few people truly understand. From losing her famous mother to facing unimaginable personal grief, her journey has been far from a fairy tale. The untold story behind Monaco's royal glamour reveals a woman who kept standing, even when life seemed determined to break her. People around the world believed Princess Caroline had the perfect childhood. She was born into one of Europe's most famous royal families on January 23, 1957. Her father was Prince Rainier III of Monaco, and her mother was the legendary Hollywood actress Grace Kelly. Their love story looked like something from a movie, and many believed their daughter would grow up living a life filled with happiness, luxury, and endless celebrations. But behind the palace walls, reality was much more complicated. From a young age, Caroline lived under the eyes of photographers. Every smile, every dress, and every public appearance became international news. Unlike most children, she could never escape public attention. While other kids enjoyed simple moments with friends, Caroline was expected to behave like the future face of Monaco. Even as a little girl, she understood that every action could become tomorrow's headline. Her mother, Grace Kelly, worked hard to give her children as normal a life as possible. Grace encouraged Caroline to study, read books, speak several languages, and understand the responsibilities that came with royal life. Caroline became known as an intelligent student who loved literature, philosophy, music, and art. She dreamed of building her own identity instead of simply being known as Grace Kelly's daughter. As she grew older, the world's fascination with Caroline only increased. Newspapers often called her one of the most beautiful young women in Europe. Every public appearance sparked new stories, and rumors about her personal life followed her everywhere. Fame arrived long before she had the chance to discover who she truly wanted to become. Then, everything changed in September 1982. Princess Grace suffered a stroke while driving, causing a tragic car accident that took her life at just 52 years old. The shocking news devastated Monaco and saddened millions around the world. For Caroline, it was not just the loss of a beloved mother, it was the moment her childhood truly ended. Almost overnight, she found herself taking on many of her mother's public duties while carrying deep personal grief that few people could fully understand. The glamorous fairy tale the world admired had suddenly become a story of heartbreak. And sadly, this would not be the last painful chapter in Princess Caroline's life. One tragic afternoon changed Princess Caroline's life in a way she could never have imagined. The world mourned the loss of Princess Grace, but for Caroline, it was much more than international headlines. She had lost the person who had guided her, protected her, and taught her how to face life inside one of the world's most famous royal families. The pain was private, even though millions watched it unfold. After her mother's death, Caroline could not spend months grieving in peace. Monaco needed stability, and the royal family had important duties to carry out. Her father, Prince Rainier III, leaned on his eldest daughter more than ever before. Although she was still a young woman dealing with heartbreaking loss, Caroline quietly accepted new responsibilities that had once belonged to Princess Grace. Public events, charity work, and official ceremonies quickly became part of her daily life. To the public, Caroline appeared calm and confident. Cameras captured her elegant outfits, graceful smile, and composed manner. Many people admired how strong she seemed. But those close to the royal family knew that appearances could be deceiving. Behind the palace doors, she was learning how difficult it was to balance personal grief with royal duty. Every public appearance reminded people of her mother, and many expected Caroline to fill shoes that no one truly could. As the years passed, she devoted herself to charitable organizations, education, and cultural projects. She worked hard to honor her mother's legacy while building one of her own. Her intelligence, kindness, and dedication earned respect across Europe. Yet no amount of success could erase the emotional scars left by the tragedy that had changed her family forever. Just when it seemed Caroline had found a new sense of purpose, another chapter of her personal life began to attract worldwide attention. Love brought hope back into her heart, but it also led to moments of deep sorrow that would once again test her strength. For a while, it finally seemed that life was giving Princess Caroline a second chance. After the disappointment of her first marriage, she found happiness with Italian businessman and sportsman Stefano Casiraghi. Their relationship appeared warm, genuine, and full of hope. Together they built a loving family and welcomed 3 children, Andrea, Charlotte, and Pierre. Friends often described this period as one of the happiest times in Caroline's life. Unlike the constant media attention that followed her first marriage, Caroline and Stefano tried to focus on family life. Even though royal duties never disappeared, they spent as much time as possible with their children. To the outside world, it looked as though the princess had finally found the peace she had been searching for since losing her mother. Their smiles at public events seemed real, and many believed the darkest days were finally behind her. But fate had another heartbreaking surprise waiting. On October 3, 1990, tragedy struck once again. Stefano Casiraghi was competing in an offshore powerboat race when his boat crashed at high speed off the coast of Monaco. Despite safety preparations, he did not survive the accident. He was only 30 years old. The shocking news spread around the world within hours, leaving Monaco in deep mourning. For Princess Caroline, the loss was almost impossible to understand. In less than a decade, she had buried both her beloved mother and the man she loved most. Now she faced another painful challenge, raising 3 young children without their father while continuing to carry the responsibilities of royal life. The cameras still followed her every move, but this time they captured a woman trying to stay strong for her family despite overwhelming grief. Those close to the royal family later shared that Caroline chose to protect her children from as much public attention as possible. She focused on giving them stability, love, and a sense of normal life, even while her own heart was healing. Instead of allowing tragedy to define her, she quietly returned to her public duties, showing a strength that earned admiration across Europe. Many people thought no one could recover from so much heartbreak. Yet Princess Caroline continued moving forward, carrying both painful memories and an unshakable sense of duty. Still, the greatest challenge was not over. Her role within Monaco's royal family was about to become even more demanding. Many people believed Princess Caroline's greatest battles were behind her. But after losing her mother and later her husband, a new challenge quietly appeared. This time, it was not just about surviving personal heartbreak. It was about helping carry the image and responsibilities of Monaco's royal family during some of its most important years. With Prince Rainier III growing older, Caroline became one of the royal family's most trusted public figures. She represented Monaco at official ceremonies, welcomed world leaders, attended international events, and continued supporting charities that helped children, families, and the arts. Every appearance required grace, confidence, and dignity. While cameras captured elegant dresses and warm smiles, very few people saw the emotional strength it took to stand before the world after everything she had endured. Instead of allowing tragedy to define her, Caroline focused on serving others. She supported organizations such as AMAID, the Princess Grace Foundation, UNESCO, and many cultural institutions across Monaco. She also played a major role in developing Monaco's artistic reputation by supporting ballet, music, literature, and education. Her dedication earned respect not because of her royal title alone, but because she remained deeply involved in the causes she believed could improve people's lives. At home, her role as a mother remained just as important. Caroline worked hard to raise her children away from unnecessary public attention, hoping they would enjoy a more balanced life than she had experienced. As they grew into adulthood, they became successful in their own fields while staying closely connected to Monaco's royal traditions. Family became one of Caroline's greatest sources of strength during difficult times. Even after her brother, Prince Albert II, became the ruler of Monaco, Princess Caroline continued to play a vital role within the royal family. She remained one of the principality's most respected ambassadors, representing Monaco with quiet confidence rather than seeking attention. Those who looked beyond the glamorous photographs saw something much deeper, a woman who had transformed pain into purpose. Yet despite decades of service, one question never completely disappeared. Was the graceful smile the world admired hiding emotions that only she truly understood? That hidden side of Princess Caroline's life would continue to fascinate royal watchers around the world. The world often remembers Princess Caroline for her elegant fashion, graceful public appearances, and calm smile. Magazine covers showed a woman who seemed confident and composed in every situation. But those beautiful photographs could never tell the full story. Behind every royal event stood a woman who had experienced loss, disappointment, and responsibilities that few people could truly understand. Rather than letting sadness define her life, Caroline quietly devoted herself to helping others. She expanded the work started by her mother, Princess Grace, and became deeply involved in charities that supported children, families, education, and the arts. As president of a MAID and a UNESCO Goodwill Ambassador, she traveled, met with humanitarian organizations, and worked to improve opportunities for vulnerable children around the world. She also continued supporting Monaco's cultural institutions, believing that art, music, and education could inspire future generations. Even while carrying these responsibilities, Caroline rarely spoke publicly about her personal pain. Instead of seeking sympathy, she allowed her actions to speak for her. Those who worked alongside her often described her as thoughtful, well-prepared, and deeply committed to every cause she supported. Her quiet determination became one of her greatest strengths. As the years passed, Caroline also found joy in watching her children build their own lives. Andrea, Charlotte, Pierre, and later her youngest daughter, Princess Alexandra, each followed their own paths while remaining close to the Grimaldi family. Becoming a grandmother brought another meaningful chapter to her life, reminding many that even after years of sorrow, happiness can return in unexpected ways. Today, Princess Caroline remains one of the most respected members of Monaco's royal family. Her story is not simply one of glamour or royal privilege. It is the story of a woman who faced repeated heartbreak, accepted enormous responsibility, and continued serving her country with dignity. While the public admired the sparkle of royal life, the real strength was found in the courage she showed when the cameras were no longer watching. In the end, Princess Caroline's greatest legacy may not be the crowns, the palaces, or the glamorous events. It is the resilience she displayed through every difficult chapter of her life. Her journey reminds us that true grace is not measured by appearances. It is measured by the strength to keep moving forward, even after life has tested you again and again.